Pioneer Baseball on PTV is live. I'm David Kemp alongside Terry Matthew. We've got an out-of-conference matchup for you today between the Leavenworth Pioneers and the Atchison Phoenix. And for the ball game, first pitch fouled away to get us started here. Making contact on the first pitch of the AB is the Phoenix. As we get settled into our first out-of-conference game, as the next pitch comes in outside, as we get settled into our first non-conference game since the I believe the Washington doubleheader. Terry,
Yep.
what are you looking for in this team?
I'm really looking for Frankie to have that confidence on the mound again. We've seen some really, really good pitching from him these last couple weeks, and if he can keep that up, you know, not let these batters get away with much, and that's going to be the real key to us winning today. Our defense has been solid these last couple weeks, and that's what we need to continue to see.
On the ground to Anthony Giammalva. Throw goes down to Aaron Phillips, and he will retire the runner for the first out of the ball game. Yogi Purdy will step into the batter's box now for the Phoenix. His first at bat of the ball game, batting in the 2 hole. First pitch of the AB from Giammalva gets chopped back towards us. One gone already. Pioneers trying to get back in the win column after dropping their last one at home to Piper. They've actually lost 2 straight, but their last matchup with a team wearing red, the Lions, did go their way. Swung on and missed. He's quickly got him in a 2-strike count. Giammalva looking to power the fastball by Purdy. Hit on the ground to third. Picked up by Davis. Throw on to first on the short hop, and it will get past Aaron Phillips. On base with an infield single is Purdy, and the Phoenix have their first base runner of the ball game. Good job beating that one out. That was the pitch from Giammalva. Swung on and missed. Runner on first now. Giammalva deals this one, ripped on a line out to center. Just letting it fall out there is Fryman. Gets down in front of him. Picked down to second is not in time. Runners at first and second. After back-to-back singles, get a few Phoenix on base.
It was a really good hit there. It was layered right over or right underneath the outfielder there. It hung in the air for a while. He didn't have a chance to come up and make a play like he probably would have liked to, but still, with two runners on base, we've seen a couple early mistakes here, but nothing to be too worried about yet. And Jamalva has had a relatively good pitching so far as well too.
He's done a good job at inducing weak contact. It's just unfortunately the ball drops where his fielders aren't quite able to get within reach.
Yeah, absolutely.
The offering misses low to Weaver. Atchison comes into this one with a record of 4-2 on the year as Giammalva deals. That one misses outside. They have not been a consistent annual opponent for the Pioneers. However, they have played each of the last 2 seasons with Atchison taking both contests. Giammalva looks down to second, comes home with it, swing and a miss. Count is even on Weaver. Foul tip into the mid of the catcher for strike three. Giamalva gets the strikeout. And there's two away. Hank Julo steps up to the plate.
And just like you mentioned earlier, with him doing a good job of forcing that weak contact, we saw that again there with that foul tip in the glove. And as long as, you know, Atchison doesn't catch on to him too early into this game and start figuring out what's coming, I think we're going to do all right.
That first inning is so important for Giamalva to set the tone. Fouled away. If he could get out of it here, that could put him in a good spot to go deep into this ball game.
Absolutely.
Last season, Atchison took it 4-2 in their ballpark. 2 years ago, 18-2. So, Pioneers, if they can show the kind of growth they did from year to year last year, they could do that again, then we might be in the win column today. The next pitch comes home and just misses. Two balls, one strike. Called strike two. Count is even. Frank DeHank. Giamalva on the mound. Julo at the plate. The pitch swung on and popped up. Phillips tracks it down, but he just runs out of room over by the light pole. Runners on first and second. Two away. Tajulo swung on and popped up in the air to straightaway center. Camping under it is Fryman, and the Pioneers escape traffic. Good pitching performance from Frankie Giamalva. As the Phoenix leave two stranded, we go to the bottom of the first. Julian Simon getting things started for the Pioneers. He's done a good job in his last few games of putting the ball in play. He drove in 4 RBIs against Lansing a couple weeks ago, and then just last week he sent a home run over the fence on Tuesday night in Piper High School.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting to see his development come this season. After a little bit of a cold start, batting this season, he really has just exploded in his offensive potential so far throughout these last 4 or 5 games.
He had a hitless streak that extended to 17 at bats before he finally broke out in a big way against the Lions. And it always feels good to do that against your team's biggest rival.
Yeah, absolutely. And that run was pretty big in that game as well.
Julian Simon trying to put some runs on the board for the Pioneers here. Pitch comes in, swung on and popped up into foul ground, camping under it and dropping it. That looked like a routine play to me, Terry. It just nicked off his
Off
glove.
the glove there,
If that was in
absolutely.
fair territory, we'd call that one an error.
Yeah.
Now battling in a two-strike count is Simon. Yogi Purdy on the mound. Purdy gets the sign from his catcher. Jumping out of the way and getting rung up for a called strike three is Simon. One away here to start the ball game. Anthony Giammalva steps into the batter's box now. Tie ball game, one away. First pitch to Giammalva in there for a called strike. Leavenworth is watching a few meatballs go right by him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not seeing much from him so far.
Shows bump, pulls back for ball one.
Oh, wow. Great throw there from the catcher.
After gathering, count is 1-1 to the Leavenworth second baseman. Hit on a line out to left center. It's got a chance back at the wall. It will bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. Trotting back in there to the bag with a hard line drive that just bounced over the wall. I think he may have had a triple there if it had stayed under that yellow line.
Yeah, at least. And it's too bad we don't have the same officiating crew we did a couple nights ago at Lansing. That was an easy home run if they were officiating this game as well, but just weren't quite as lucky as Lansing was a few weeks back.
Pioneers will take the base. Pioneers will take the base runner though. Runner at second. One gone to his brother Frankie Giammalva after the double. First pitch in there for a called strike. This officiating crew has not been squeezing the zone too much tonight. No balls and one strike to the Leavenworth starting pitcher. Purdy to Giammalva. He fouls that one away. Leavenworth has a runner on second. Checks back to second. And calling time is the umpire.
Be it.
And after calling time, Giammalva is back into the batter's box now. His brother on second. The pitch is hit on a hard liner out to left center. This one back at the wall, and it will bounce over the wall again. Back-to-back automatic doubles bring a run home for the Pioneers, and they are up 1-0. Good start to the ball game for Leavenworth.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like Atchison, we're getting good contact early, but we're just making better plays out of the opportunities that we're given. And you saw there too up on the mound, He was really worried having Frank back on second base there. Kept checking, thought about trying to throw the pick off a couple times, and maybe that's playing into his mental game when it comes to throwing pitches that are going.
That one hangs up there just long enough for the catch to be made. Tagging at second and coming into third is Frankie Giamalva. So Anthony comes in to score with Giamalva at second. He will advance to third on the Noah Davis sacrifice fly. Gabe Fryman giving the umpire a fist bump there and stepping into the left-handed batter's box to start his ball game. Pierce Gray goes out there to third base. He's getting a night off to have a little bit of rest before he presumably pitches either tomorrow or in their Thursday night game. The pitch, low. He will come in as a pinch runner for Frankie Giamalva, who will be coming back into the ballgame to pitch next inning, having to save his arm. Offering to Fryman, called for strike one. 1-0. Pioneers in front early after the back-to-back doubles by Giamalva and Giamalva. Next one. Misses outside. Fryman has been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball for the Pioneers as this one misses just high. He's hitting .553 on the year with a .609 on base percentage. Anytime you leave a ball over the plate to this guy, he's gonna put it in play. Just like we see right there, right back up the middle. Should be routine play over there at short. It will be. And despite the lone run coming across to score, Phoenix gets out of the inning with minimal damage. 1-0 Pioneers.
Leading off the top of the second, Atchison. Catcher number 12, Mason.
Mason Weaver gets us started here in the top of inning number 2. Phoenix trail 1-0. Giamalva trying to keep it right there. First pitch misses. Next offering from number 23 is in there for strike one. Frank looking into his catcher. Comes home with it from the windup. This one just misses the outside corner. Early start for the Pioneers. Not the typical 6:30 start time with the sun setting, as that one is in there for strike two. Count is even. 5 o'clock ball game. No junior varsity and softball to navigate, although they are on the practice fields behind us. So they'll have to keep their eyes open for foul balls. Next pitch from Giamalva swung on and missed. And Weaver is set down. First baseman Cam Thompson into the batter's box now. First pitch misses low. He had a little bit of trouble in the field in that first inning as he wasn't quite able to reel in what looked like a routine pop-up there.
Yeah, man, that was right off the glove. Easy out. One of those times where you got to make that play. And, you know, to think that, a missed opportunity on an out right there potentially, could have stopped Leavenworth from scoring in the first inning there. It's just those little mistakes that you got to avoid if you want to win close ball games.
1-0 pitch misses. Well, actually, it is in there for a strike. That was a bad read from me there, but I will take it. 1-1 count. This one swung on and missed. A little bit of quick pitch going on.
Yeah.
Giammalva coming home to the plate with pace. Nobody on. This one misses low. Count is even to the first baseman, Thompson.
Pitched just low again there.
Giammalva's been inconsistent so far, Terry. He's done a good job at getting batters out when it matters, but he can't seem to find the strike zone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe he's looking, for a little more movement on these pitches, and he just can't quite get him to release how he wants.
The
But
walk.
you can see a little bit of frustration growing out there, but he's still, he comes up with that confidence, like you said, to get people out when it matters. You would just like it to not come down to the wire like that every at bat, as this pitch there again is outside.
And you've also got to think about the pitch count, too. You don't want to burn too much into your bullpen because this is the most intense week of the season, as that one goes high,
Mm.
for the Pioneers to date. Head coach Thamer, or pitching coach Thamer, calling time to go out and chat with his right-hander.
I think he's just getting rattled out there.
I think so too. When he is making the pitches he needs to, he's been dominating the Phoenix.
Yeah.
But he just, again, the inconsistency is what's killing him. Simon back behind the plate. Frankie Giammalva with hopefully a bit more confidence out there on the bump. 2 balls and no strikes. First pitch after the mound visit is in there for a strike. Pumping the gas is what Giammalva needs to do to succeed, in my opinion, Terry. His
Yeah.
fastball is something that Atchison just can't catch up to.
Yeah, absolutely. He is not one for super flashy pitches, but when he comes out with those fastballs, there hasn't been a team yet this year to get a hold of many of those.
3 balls and 1 strike now. Runner at first, 1 gone. The pitch, swing and a miss. He had him looking silly there.
Yeah, man, he reached out there for that one.
I think, well, he does like going to that fastball, and we like seeing it too. He can pair a dominating fastball and put that in their heads, then a changeup like that can be filthy. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 sends Huntington packing. Back out to the woods there. Maybe he'll catch a deer next time.
Yeah, my goodness.
No shots there. 2 away. Runner at first. Clark steps into the batter's box. First pitch in there.
And sometimes that's just what you need. You need a couple good pitches to get in there, get yourself back into a rhythm, settle down, and get back to what you like.
9-hole hitter. Swing and a miss. As you get deeper into this lineup, you just start to see more and more bats that look like they're swinging toothpicks out there against Frankie.
Yeah, man, you could have given that guy a tennis racket and he wasn't going to make contact there.
No balls and 2 strikes, looking to put him away for the inning. Strike 3 called. Frankie Giammalva walks off the mound after back-to-back punch-outs, send the Phoenix down quietly. Leavenworth leads it 1-0.
From everybody to the wild, wild west. A state that's untouchable like Elliot next. The track is the eardrum like a Indian chest. Like a band in the city. We in that sunshine state for the bomb be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty. Making machines of the fiend. I've been in the game for 10 years, making rap tunes. I was 95 and they clocked me and watched me diamond shining. Then like a Rob Liberace, it's all good. From Diego to the Bay, your city is the palm and your city making pay. It feel the same way. Straight from the town of California.
Scoreless top half for the Phoenix, and now Carter Pro looking to extend the Pioneers' 1-0 lead. Stepping into the batter's box and playing in right field today. The Leavenworth relief pitcher's been getting some regular playing time in the field lately. I like the managing decision from Bodie. First pitch from the Phoenix starter, Purdy misses low. Next pitch called strike. Correction, the first pitch in there. 0-2 count. No balls and 2 strikes to Carter Pro. Swung on and hit to the opposite field. Hanging up there a long time and dropping down on the bloop single. Diving into second base, and he is in there well ahead of the throw. Leadoff double for Carter Pro. Gets a runner in scoring position for the DH, Davin Kuntz.
And that was a good play right there. You know, great hit, and to follow that up with the sense to get to second base. He hesitated there, rounding first, but he decided to commit, and it paid off big time, getting into scoring position like that.
Runner on second now for Davin Kuntz. He's been heating up lately. Started the year with some starts out in the outfield at catcher, but I think Bodie just wants to focus on his bat right now. First pitch in there for a strike. Pioneers looking good as always in the home pinstripes. This one fouled back to the dugout. Atchison with the red away uniforms, gray pants, and the red caps. Looking for their first win since this annual series started in 2024. That one misses high. Davin Kuntz stays alive in a 2-strike count. Kuntz at the batter's box. Getting set from the left side.
Really feeling his wind up here. Playing with the pitcher a little bit, I think.
Check down to second. Pro will stay put. Kuntz just trying to make contact here, not trying to drive the ball deep into the outfield. He just wants to get that runner over. He's choked up significantly on the bat. I would say there's about 2 inches there in between his right hand and the bottom of the bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Leavenworth designated hitter. Kuntz gets set. The pitch misses to make the count full. Yogi Purdy struggling to put him away. Both teams have done a good job at putting on pressure. Leavenworth is the only side so far, though, that has managed to turn that into runs. They've only got 1 so far, though. Purdy checks back again. "3-2 to Kuntz. The payoff. Hit on the ground to third. Checking the runner back and waited a bit too long. Not able to get the ball out. E5 puts Davin Kuntz on base. Routine play for the third baseman, but Carter Pro is able to get in his head a little bit. And now Leavenworth has runners on first and second, nobody out.
Yeah, and this is not football. You can't sit back there and read the field. You got to step up and make a play. You know where the ball needs to go. You only have 2 places to throw it.
I think it was good for him to look the runner back, but you got to fire that ball out as soon as you see that Pro's not going. I think he just held on to it too long. And at the end of the day, just get the automatic out. Double play in order for Purdy. Pioneers trying to avoid that. Showing bunt and pulling out is Aaron Phillips. Phillips batting 8th in today's lineup. He's started at first base every single game of the season so far. He has been the most consistent guy to see in the lineup. Strike as he couldn't get the bunt down. 1 ball and 1 strike now to number 31 in the Pioneers blue. Leavenworth trying to break a 2-game losing skid. Both of those losses coming at the hands of the Piper Pirates. They had a game scheduled for last Friday night against Bonner Springs, but that one got rained out. Check down to second. He will come home with it, and the bunt will get down. Fielding it as Purdy, throw on to first will be just in time. Stepping on the bag to record the out. 1 away, but both runners advance. Second and third as Mason Shoemaker trying to get himself an RBI for the stat sheet. The 1-3 put out on the sacrifice bunt. And now there's 1 away for the Pioneers. One 0. Watching another one go by for a ball is Shoemaker. And Yogi Purdy, you got to look at this scenario as nowhere to put him because Julian Simon is on deck and he is the last person you want to face with the bases loaded. 2-0 pitch misses outside, and Shoemaker hasn't shown any signs of wanting to take the bat off of his shoulder. Purdy just can't seem to find the box. Looking to put it over the plate. Shoemaker shows bunt, pulls it out. 3 balls and 1 strike. Leavenworth just trying to break this game open. They currently lead by 1. The 3-1 to Shoemaker misses low, and now the bases are loaded for Julian Simon.
And this is a situation that you don't want to be in if you're Atchison. Bases loaded with a batter like Julian Simon in the box. You can't slip up. You can't give him an inch because he will take a mile. and he very well could send 2 or 3 runners home here.
And I feel for Purdy out there on the mound. He's only given up 1 hit this inning, but the error and the walk have put him in a lot of trouble here. Trying to deposit one over that 325 sign. Popped up. That was clearly a power swing there. Not able to connect and drive it. Giammalva collects the ball and brings it back to the on-deck circle. Julian Simon will get back into the batter's box. Righty on righty matchup. Pioneers at all corners. Check down to second. Throw to the plate is in there for a called strike 2. Julian Simon. The pitch popped up again. Consistent contact. And just trying to time it up. You got to think that one of these days he's going to get a hold of one.
Yeah, he's gotten close there. All contact is good contact, and he just has to get a pitch that he likes. And with Atchison's pitching troubles, you know, I see that coming soon.
10 RBIs on the year. Trying to get number 11 here or more. The pitch misses low. Coming home is Carter Pro. The pitch is not going to be in time. Just eating it behind the plate and not even attempting a throw. The Phoenix have surrendered another run to come home.
That was a great show of speed there from Carter to get home there.
Hustling down the line and just diving face first into the dish. He didn't even check to see when that ball was coming, and he didn't want to lose any momentum. Wild pitch makes it a 2-0 ball game. A 1-2 to Simon. Swing and a miss. He's set down for the second out of the inning. 2 strikeouts in the ball game. Just has had a hard time timing up Purdy. Anthony Giammalva stepping into the batter's box here. Big opportunity with 2 men in scoring position. First pitch misses low, and it will.
Ooh.
It looks like Kuntz may have had just enough time there, but making the cautious decision to return to the bag over there at third.
Yeah, I think if he committed harder, he might have had a chance, but he didn't quite get off the bag as fast as he needed to.
Swing and a miss to make it 1-1 strike now to the Leavenworth second baseman. He doubled in his first at bat. I would not be complaining if he did that again here.
Yeah, absolutely, and his speed is something that you have to respect here.
Like we were talking about, if that one hadn't hopped over the fence, he may have had more than a double. Into the bleachers after the foul ball. 2-strike count to the Leavenworth second baseman. Leavenworth already leading by 2. Anthony Giammalva trying to make it an even bigger deficit. Offering from Purdy. Chopped right back to the mound. Should be a routine play over there at first. The soft toss over there to the bag. And Giammalva is retired. Lots of traffic. Only 1 run comes across. 1 run on 1 hit. 1 error for the Pioneers. They lead it 2-0. Atchison's already had 3 base runners in this ball game. None of them have been able to come across the plate, though. Frankie Giammalva is still holding on to the shutout as we go to inning number 3. First pitch of the third, swung on and missed. Big hack there. No balls and 1 strike. Quick pitch from Giammalva, swung on and missed. Quick score update. Also in the region playing an early game, Lansing, clearly after, as this one is in there for a ball, Lansing clearly after their beatdown of the Pioneers, they said let's schedule some easier opponents. They're winning 11-0 against Sumner Academy. The boys in blue must have scared them off a little bit after the doubleheader sweep. They took the first contest 1-0 in extra innings, a pitcher's duel for the ages. And then the second ball game, they won it 6-2 with the Julian Simon double being the dagger.
Oh,
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Bonnell gets set down via the K. Second time he's been sent down in this ball game.
yeah, coming over the plate hot there from Jamalva, and my goodness, that fastball has been looking great today, and still yet to have anybody get a real hold of one.
I think for Giammalva, swing and a miss there again. I think for Giammalva, the real thing is just the fact that he is keeping these batters in a spot where they don't know what speed to commit to. Inside. Because when you really just lean and go all in on the fastball, we've seen some of these swings where they look honestly pretty ridiculous, all the way bringing their weight into the opposite batter's box.
Yeah, falling over the plate.
Pop up to Giammalva battling the sun, and it will fall for an error. First base runner of the inning, Yogi Purdy, second time getting on base in 2 plate appearances. The E4 puts someone on for Atchison. But yeah, I mean, if you're trying to catch up to 80 and then you see a pitch coming at about, I want to say like 50 miles an hour, it's hard to square it up. Throw into second is not going to be in time to catch Purdy. Stolen base puts a runner in scoring position for the Phoenix. Good throw from Simon, just not enough gas on it to catch the runner. Dunlap may have been able to get that tag down, but not quite able to secure it in time. It's interesting for Simon to be behind the plate with his buddy Frankie Giammalva on the mound. They make a great battery, but it's a little bit less fun to throw down there to a shorter guy over there at shortstop, especially with the chemistry these guys have. The pitch, swing, and a miss. That's exactly what we were talking about. He just kind of lobbed one in there, and Barnes, who is geared up for the fastball, it comes out of the same arm angle.
Yeah, there's no outside hints as to what's really coming in.
And if you do try to sit back on the changeup, then by the time you get that bat around, it's blown by you because that fastball comes in there pretty quickly. Runner at second now. 2-strike pitch to Barnes. Swing and a miss. Frankie is shoving it down the Phoenix throats right now, making them eat it. 2 gone. Weaver at the dish. 0 for 1. He struck out in his first plate appearance. Throw goes down to Anthony Giammalva. Not in time. A little bit of a trick play there. Sent the shortstop running around clockwise before Anthony Giammalva came in the back door. They did pull that one off against Piper, with Frankie and Anthony doing that one together. This one gets popped up over towards the dirt fields. Junior varsity practice is over, so no one over there to get hurt. keeping a close eye on Purdy. He'll come home with it. Runner doesn't go. And the count runs to 1-1. 2-0 Pioneer lead. Trying to get the bats back up. The offering. Swing and a miss at the high cheese.
Yeah. My goodness, you gotta wonder what he was thinking swinging at something like that.
Must be ticklish up there on his head. He had to bring the bat all the way up to his eye level to try and cut it that one. Swing and a miss for strike 3 will retire the side.
I gotta think that, they're getting caught up in this different speed of those pitches, and they feel like they just have to beat the fastball and force a swing that they shouldn't.
Leavenworth looking to completely flip the script on the last couple of years. 2024 they fell 18-2 against this very team. Last season a 4-2 defeat, but now they have come out swinging. Don't want to jinx it, but they look pretty good here today, Terry. We go to the bottom of the third. Leavenworth leads it 2-0.
Leading off the bottom. Number 23.
Frank Giammalva at the plate. He's already doubled in this ball game. That extra base hit drove in the first Pioneer run. They now have 2 on the board for him with Frank Giammalva on the mound as well. And he will look to extend that lead with Noah Davis on deck. Purdy. First pitch is low. He's gotten on base twice for the Phoenix. Beyond that, though, he hasn't had much support from the rest of his offense. He hasn't pitched a particularly horrible game. Leavenworth has just put 2 across as this one misses low. Definitely something Atchison could come back from. They just really need the rest of this lineup to support their starter. Next one misses low.
And you really gotta see something out of, this pitching soon. He's had some good pitches in there, but he's been routinely missing high and outside.
Giammalva shows bunt. He pulls back for a called strike. 3 balls, 1 strike to number 23. Thought about it. He holds back and will take the free pass. Noah Davis into the batter's box now. He flew out in his first AB, but he has been one known for some power. He's the lone batter in this lineup to go yard for a grand slam. So he knows something about hitting with runners on. Frank Giammalva, the stolen base threat at first. You got to think he's going to be in Purdy's head a little bit as well. First pitch is swung on. High drive to right field. That ball is going to hang up there just long enough to be retired. And Davis sent that one on a ride. Second at bat in a row that he flew out to the deepest part of the park.
Man, and that was close. That only needed a couple more feet to get out there.
One out on the fly out to center. That ball nearly made it past that 370 marker. Gabe Fryman stepping into the batter's box, 0 for 1 on the ball game. Carter Pro on deck, pick down to first, just keeping Frankie honest. 2-0 ball game. Pioneers in front. Shows bunt, pulls back, throw on to second, not in time. And a little bit of a funny pick there. He kind of threw it into center field.
Yeah, and that's been, I've seen that a couple times in between innings come out and warm up, and he's missed on that throw pretty consistently. And as Leavenworth, we might be able to take advantage of that, and that's already the second time this game that we've come through on second.
Throw comes in, and it is outside. Ones for Gabe Fryman. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out in the third. Called strike 2. Atchison has had to deal with traffic in every inning. Leavenworth has had 2, is for that matter, but it's just felt like the Pioneers have been putting a lot of pressure. Meanwhile, Atchison's base runners, GMOV has had no problem getting out of the inning. And the scoreboard reflects that. Leavenworth has a 2-run lead, and they've been building on it. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. And with the runner on second, Gabe Fryman wants to make that 1 in the third. Swung on and hit to the opposite field. It looks like it's going to be just into foul territory, dying at the warning track and bouncing over the fence on the third base side. Fryman stays alive in the 2-2 count. Doing a good job at just making solid contact and keeping the at-bat going. Carter Pro waits on deck with only 1 gone in the inning. More contact, and the at-bat will continue. Hit the other way.
And you got to think that he's starting to like what he's seeing. 2 decent bits of contact there. Can hope that something's coming.
2-0 ball game. Leavenworth on top. Purdy just can't seem to find the pitch to retire Fryman. The pitch. Swung on right back up the middle. Backhanded pick, not able to come up with it. And he will eat it. Throw comes home with it, and diving in head first
Oh
is
my
Ricky
goodness.
Giamalva. Coming in to score from second on the infield single. And now the Pioneers have a 3-0 lead.
And Fryman's going to make it out all the way up to second.
Ball did not leave the infield, but Fryman and Giamalva trade places as a runner comes across to score.
Yeah, my goodness. 2 mishandled catches there. Missed over on second and missed again behind the plate to give up another score.
I think in that scenario over there at first or at second, you gotta just eat it if you can't make the backhanded pick cleanly. It's a risky enough play as it is, but then to try and spike it on the ground in hopes that your first baseman can pick that ahead of Fryman, just not a wise play all around. First pitch to Carter Pro will hit him, and now runners are on first and second for Davin Kuntz at the plate.
Yeah, and you got to think he's got to let his frustration out somehow. I mean, he can't get it in between the boxes, so we might as well just get it into one of the boxes all the way. So, we'll take the base. We're going to get the base anyway, so we might as well just get it over now.
It didn't look intentional to me, but Pioneers are having a bit of a laugh about it. Purdy hasn't been throwing particularly hard. You could just see Carter Pro down there laughing it off. Kuntz getting a different look at Purdy from the left-handed side. Righty on lefty matchup, and that can do great measures for a bat. First pitch, just misses. 3-0 ball game after some infield drama brings Giammalva home to score. Check down to second, coming home with it and missing outside. Davin Kuntz just staying patient. 2 balls and no strikes on the designated hitter. Check down to second, throw home, swing and a miss. Took a big hack at that one. Caught nothing but air.
And he's getting close in there. He's starting to get more confident in swinging the bat when he sees what he likes.
Only one gone on the long fly ball from Noah Davis. Called strike 2 brings the count back even. Good job fighting back from Purdy. He's had some command issues. Just hit Carter Pro before falling behind 2-0. But back-to-back pitches in the zone for Davin Kuntz. Swung on and hit the other way. Will not find its way onto the outfield grass, and 2 are gone in the inning. Aaron Phillips getting into the box now. Leavenworth leading by 3. He's got a runner in scoring position along with Carter Pro at first base. Fryman would love to come across to score, and I'm sure Giammalva would love it even more. Going back out there on the mound in the top half of the 4th. Check down to second. He will wait before coming home with it. Popped up and sent foul. That might have been a pitch clock violation at some of the higher levels, as he just kind of stood there on the mound, not wanting Fryman to get up to any funny business there. Atchison is struggling to find the dominance they've had in the last several seasons. Scoreless through their first 3 innings, and Purdy has made his way through 2 2/3 as that one gets fouled off. 2 2/3 innings, and he's already given up 3 to the Pioneers. Three-0. Pioneers in front. The count is 0-2 to Aaron Phillips. Atchison starter gets the call from behind the dish. Sets. Check down to second. From the stretch, he will look down there again and get back on the rubber. It's a cat and mouse game going on there. He just can't seem to trap Fryman. The offering misses. And good eye from 31. Leavenworth has done a good job all day at not letting the moment get too big. Phillips trying to channel that here. Next pitch misses low. Count runs even on the LV first baseman. Popped up. Hanging up there just long enough for the backstop to make the catch. And Aaron Phillips unable to bring anyone home. We go to the top of inning number 4. Atchison is still scoreless. Frankie Giammalva trying to leave it just like that.
leading off the top of the fourth for Atchison.
Hank Julo will get us started in the fourth. Leavenworth leads at 3-0 over the Atchison Phoenix, who have, to put it bluntly, dominated this matchup over the last couple of years. Leavenworth has flipped the script so far. You look back to softball as well. They played a couple weeks back, and after Atchison, as this one misses, 3 balls and no strikes, but after Atchison swept the doubleheader, mercy ruling the Pioneers both times on the softball diamond last year, our Lady Pioneers took both matchups via the mercy rule this season. 15-0 and 19-4. So if the girls could do it, the guys are hoping to one-up them here. Runner at first now, making things a little bit difficult on the base paths for Frank Giamalva. Check down to first will get beyond Phillips. Staying put there is Julo. 4-pitch walk, a little bit of a hiccup in an otherwise dominant day for Giamalva out on the mound. Throw comes in there for a strike. Next one comes in and misses high. Gets ready. Fires home. And misses.
Gotta feel like there might be just a little bit of frustration coming back in there again. And he's got to get settled back into that rhythm like he has for the last 3 innings.
And really the whole season. Giamalva has a 0.70 ERA. He's given up just 2 runs in 20 innings pitched. So, and this is his 4th appearance as well. He's yet to give one up today either.
And arguably, those 2 runs probably shouldn't have even been out there.
That's true. The main knock on his resume came against the Lions on that controversial, well, if you can even say controversial, it was pretty clear as that one is outside for ball 4, back-to-back walks start the inning. But against the Lions, a ball bounced over the fence for a home run. Interesting call by the officiating crew. And yeah, that's been the only knock on his reputation so far.
And looks like he's hitting a little bit of a rough patch here. But, Coach Thamer comes out again to give him another talk, and that got him right back in the zone last time. He's been good this game. He's had a little bit of a rough start, but he got right back into that rhythm. And I have full faith in him to get right back in there, come out, and finish out this ball game.
Now is definitely an okay time for him to be going through a little bit of a rough patch, as his offense has supplied him with 3 runs of support, with runs coming on the scoreboard in each of the first 3 innings. They've just been taking it one frame at a time, with 1 in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second, and 1 in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, and you got to feel like he can't be too stressed up there. This isn't, one of those games where he really has to put on a perfect pitching performance to put the game away. He can have a little, rough patches here and there, and his offense has supplied more than enough to keep him in this game.
Including himself. He's already 2 for 2 on the ball game, and he has a steal. Well, if that mound visit was supposed to take effect immediately, it certainly didn't, as that one was way out of the zone, over by the feet of Thompson. Still plenty of time to settle in. Count is just 1-0, showing bunt and getting it down. Frankie Giamalva goes on to third, And with an excellent play, he nabs the lead runner. Sacrifice bunt, an absolute waste of energy there, as runners on first and second will stay put after the fielder's choice.
And that's got to be a confidence booster there. He did a really good job of getting under the ball there and flipping it right to third, and just a great job handling the ball there, too, for the quick out.
The 1-5 fielder's choice will send Weaver to second, Thompson to first, and retire the lead runner Julo for the first out of the inning. Top of the fourth, Pioneers lead it by 3. Frankie Giammalva, yet another scoreless start for him. Next one in there for another strike.
And
Good start to the AB.
He's starting to find the zone there again.
Coach Thamer is always one of the best guys on that staff, as he's just knows exactly what to say in the right situations to calm his guy down. And again, he's got 3 runs to work with. Again, you don't want to get too comfortable out there, but it's not something to be too stressed about. This one will go out to left field, hanging up there. Throw goes down to second, and the double play will retire him.
Beautiful play there.
Weaver gets caught in no man's land, and the double play as Huntington just flied out. The ball did not get down like Weaver thought it would. 3 gone, and after walking the first 2 base runners of the inning, Frankie Giammalva gets out of it yet again unscathed.
First thing that you see, just up the road, the pale blue water tower. Lionel Kenny. Here's my field there by the courthouse. He'll be long flight, sun goes down. And this is my turn. Yeah. Going on.
Mason Shoemaker will get us started here in inning number 4. Leavenworth has put 1 runner, no more, no less, in each of their first 3 frames. I would not be complaining if they could keep that pattern up. Shoemaker stepping into the batter's box, one of a couple of lefty batters. He will show bunt. First pitch, called for a strike. Shoemaker, Simon, and Frank Giammalva will come up to the plate. Next one misses low. Excuse me, Anthony Giammalva will come up to the plate. Frank does have an opportunity if one of these guys can get on ahead of him. And Terry, if I'm no prophet, but I would not be surprised if that were to happen.
Absolutely.
Next pitch is not in there. Simon, though, needs to get out of this tough stretch. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, trying to avoid the hat trick. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And after showing bunt in his first pitch he saw, Shoemaker takes a big hack at that one to go behind. Next one called for a strike 3. Shoemaker can't believe it. Walks back to the dugout. Called strike 3, the first out of the inning. Julian Simon 0 for 2 on the ball game. Yet to get on base after striking out twice. but you just know that he's due. The kind of guy that you can't keep down for long. First pitch misses low, and the Pioneer leadoff hitter is in a hitter's count now to start the AB. Purdy looks into his mitt. Pitch is going to get out of play.
And that's good contact to start there for Simon. You know, he's got to get a little something going, feel a little bit good about that. And he's made plays all these last few games, and you got to feel like he's just close to getting right back in there.
Another piece of contact almost broke our camera there. Just a little bit away from our piece of equipment. Thankfully, didn't get any bit of it. Next pitch to Simon. Watches it go by for strike 3. A little bit frustrating there, but he will go back down. 2 gone after back-to-back Ks. Start things out. Anthony Giammalva, however, has not been striking out. Put contact on the ball both times. He doubled in his first debut. Terry, how concerned would you say you are with Simon right now? That's his 3rd strikeout of the ballgame, 2 of them looking.
I mean, it's a rough patch, of course, but it's hard to have too much of a knock on him when he's coming off of a hot streak. You know, baseball is a game of momentum. Sometimes you're hot, sometimes you're not. And maybe this just isn't his game, but luckily we have had other players step up and take that role.
Anthony Giammalva in the batter's box, Frankie Giammalva on deck. And those are 2 guys that have done a good job. The automatic double in the first is what really got the Pioneers rolling. He came across to score in that inning. Hit on the ground just outside the diving stretch of the shortstop. Digging for second and getting in there without a throw is Anthony Giammalva. Second extra base hit of the ball game. Pioneers are in business now with the runner on second and 2 gone.
That's the second time now that we've seen him not even attempt to throw in a play like that. You got to think if there was just a little bit more hustle behind that, they might have had a shot.
And it goes down the whole assembly line. It wasn't just that their cutoff man didn't have time. It was that center fielder, he kind of gave up on the play because that's the kind of ball that routinely turns into a single where you
Absolutely.
just say, "Oh, I'm gonna eat it." But when you have a guy as fast as the sophomore Anthony Giammalva on the base paths, you can't just ignore a ball
Yeah,
on the ground like that.
that's where I was going to go with that was his speed. You cannot give him opportunities like that because he will take them and he will exploit them.
Runner in scoring position for Frank Giammalva, 2 for 2. He has scored once. 1 ball, no strikes to the starting pitcher. He's got quite the resume. Lots of ones. Beyond the 2 hits, he has 1 run, 1 RBI. Anthony Giammalva goes down to third, and no throw will come out of the mitt. Bonnell on the mound now. Not Purdy. He came out in the last inning. And going out to have a chat with Bonnell is their pitching coach.
I like what I see out there right now. Having Anthony on third like that, that's almost a guaranteed run out there. Having that kind of speed coming into home, it doesn't take much of an opening for him to push one through.
Any ball that finds its way in the dirt, which very well may happen if Bonnell can't find the strike zone, Giammalva is going to be taken off like a bullet. Hit on a frozen rope out to center, and that ball will get out of here, it appears. No, it fell just shy of the warning track and bounces over the wall. I couldn't tell from where I was sitting. The line drive will bounce right over the wall. Frank Giammalva with his third hit of the ball game gets his second RBI of the game, and now Leavenworth has continued their stretch of 1 run per inning. 4-0. Pioneers in firm control of this ball game after the RBI double. Noah Davis gave one a ride in the last frame, but it just ran out of steam just shy of the yellow line. First pitch will miss low in the dirt. If he could connect on one like he did in his last AB, he could really blow this game wide open, more
Yeah,
than it already is.
and he's been right in there. It's just one with just a couple more feet both times.
This one, hard line drive. It is fair in the right field corner. Taking a hard turn at first and headed to second. He will hold up there with an RBI double to make it a 5-0 Leavenworth ball game. Noah Davis finally breaking through after a rough start to the ball game. And now the Pioneers are in business. Back-to-back doubles, and now the Leavenworth Pioneers lead by 5 over Atchison. They have scored more runs in the first 4 innings of this ballgame than they have in the last 2 years against Atchison combined. They have really done a good job at killing some of those old demons. This one gets popped up foul. Five nothing Pioneer lead. Both runs in this inning have come across to score with 2 outs. That one misses low, taking third easily is Noah Davis. Atchison has just been getting run all over today. Leavenworth really settling in here. The pitch. Fryman watches it go by for another ball. Hit just outside the reach of the first baseman over there. Coming in to score is Davis. It is now a 6-run lead for the Pioneers. Leavenworth has really just blown this game apart.
Yeah, and it just the defensive mistakes. It just feels like they lack some intensity out there. You know, every time they have an opportunity, it just doesn't feel like they take it.
And it feels like Atchison also, they've just been lazy out in the field, if I had to put it one way. You saw on the Anthony Giammalva worm burner that turned into a double, and then just right there, that one, if you make a more athletic play over there at first, is probably getting the out if you're Atchison. But instead, it rolls all the way to the warning track, and now Gabe Fryman is sitting on second base as a result.
Yeah,
Carter Pro with the runner in scoring position now.
and you gotta figure, even if maybe he doesn't handle that the best, you could still contain a runner to first, but he still let him get all halfway around, and that's just something that you can't have when you're already down by 5. Swing and a miss there.
Pioneers have doubled in 4 consecutive at-bats. Mind you, Terry, all of them coming with 2 outs in the inning. Bonnell over there on the bump just can't seem to find the secret sauce to get that last batter out. Watching the runner back is Bonnell. Pitch to the opposite field. This one will be caught on a sliding grab. The inning finally comes to a close, mercifully, as the Pioneers are laying it on thick here. 6-0 lead as we go to the fifth.
Take a shot, make a win. Celebrate every day. Don't sleep, you gotta stay. Stand, stand out. Bathe in a bathhouse. Gun on my tongue. Keeps and I don't. Nonchalant. Green on rotation all night. We keep it psychedelic like a cat in a
Leading off the top of the fifth for Atchison.
Grady Clark, the 9-hole hitter, just trying to get anything going for an Atchison lineup where, honestly, the flame has gone out for the Firebirds. Popped up and back towards our camera, putting us through a spin cycle here, shaking things up a little bit. 6-0 ball game. Atchison has stayed in it for much of this one, but really blowing it open in the bottom of the fourth was the Pioneers. They put 3 runs across on back-to-back-to-back-to-back doubles. Just absolutely running circles around the Phoenix.
And in the top of the fifth like this, we've certainly seen crazier things happen in high school baseball. But you just gotta wonder if they're ever gonna get at least something going.
Swing and a miss for strike 3 on Clark. That's his second time getting sent down via the punch-out. Bonnell, who's also been one of Giammalva's many strikeout victims, is into the box now. First pitch is above the helmet for ball 1. Simon, good job getting up there and keeping it in front of him. 1-0, this one gets sent towards the backstop. Coming out here to pick it up is Barnes. The pitch watches it go by. 6-0 ball game. As this one looping changeup. Giammalva smiling because he got away with one there. Left it in the heart of the plate, and Bonnell just didn't pull the trigger on it. Looking for the put away, and he gets him fishing in the dirt. Didn't catch anything but a whole bunch of soil as he will go down to first. The throw on the dropped third strike will set him down. Back-to-back Ks get Giammalva's 5th inning started. He is feeling pretty good out there on the hill. Purdy will step into the batter's box now. First pitch in there for a strike.
And Purdy today has really been their only sign of offensive hope. There hasn't been much great, you know, contact or base advancement from anybody else. But unless he gets some support, I just don't see a way that they can come back from this 2 innings.
And the defensive side as well. The second they pulled him out of the ball game, Bonnell surrendered 3 runs to the Pioneers. Meanwhile, Purdy only gave up that much in his entire 3-inning stint. This one hit on a sharp liner to Dunlap. Dunlap on to first. Down to a knee, but able to make the catch and retire the side. Frank Giammalva is through 5 scoreless yet again, and he has shown no signs of slowing down. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Leavenworth leads it 6-0.
Leading off, bottom.
Devin Kuntz ready to start us off here for the Pioneers. He has number 6 on his back, and that is the number of runs the Pioneers have pushed across so far. Looking to make it 7 if he could maybe send one deep. Still looking for his first home run on the year in a bit of a drought there.
First pitch there is wildly low. And with balls like that coming across the plate, he might not even have a chance to send one over the fence.
Kuntz in the box now. Trying to get a good look on Bonnell. And he makes contact. Not able to square one up too nicely, as he sends it into the first base coach's box. Devin Kuntz, bat back on his shoulders, ready to go. Rears up and thought about swinging that one
Eye
just
level
around,
there.
just around his chin a little bit. Yeah, almost got him in the face. Swung on and hit to the opposite field. It is gonna fall for a base hit.
Goodness.
Rounding first and headed for second. He still hasn't come up with it. Throw into the cutoff man, goes into third, and it is over the head of the third baseman. Almost coming across with the Little League homer. Good job by Bonnell sprinting into the third base coach's box to save that ball and keep it in front of him.
Yeah, no
But
kidding. That could have been bad.
The single turns into a two-base error, and now Devin Kuntz is sitting on third base with nobody out. Error out there in left field. And now Kunze is just 90 feet away from making it a 7-run ball game. Number 31, Aaron Phillips in the box now. 6 runs, trying to make it 7.
6-7.
Mound visit out there for Bonnell. Final score over at Lansing, 15-0, Lions on top. Terry, I think they felt a little bit bad after losing to us, so they just said, you know, why don't we hand that to another team?
Yeah, man. This has been quite the game to watch, that's for sure. These slip-ups from Atchison here have just really cost them the game. It's hard to, you know, we're definitely going to come out with a win on the sheet, but I think they beat themselves.
Leavenworth Pioneers looking to improve to 8-6 on the year. And the pitch coming in misses. First game of the week for the Pioneers, as this one misses inside. A few results from the weekend for you. DeSoto, they took a 7-0 loss to Mill Valley on Friday night. As that one will miss low for ball 4. And then Topeka West, who we're going to be playing against on Tuesday and Thursday. 21-3 loss and 18-1 loss against Baser Linwood High School. So that's one I will be looking forward to, Terry, to say the least. Pick down to first will miss. I will be in the booth for both of those games, presumably. And then Mason Bentley will be taking play-by-play on Friday night. Runner takes second. Stolen base for Aaron Phillips after the walk. Now we have runners in second and third. 2 in scoring position, just if Bonnell didn't have enough in his head already. With Julian Simon waiting on deck, trying to do some damage. That one misses high. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts so far. But the Phoenix won't keep him down forever. Pitch. Misses again. 3 balls and no strikes to the nine-hole hitter. Shoemaker shows bunt. Pulls away. Called for a strike. I don't even think he had any intention of getting that one down, Terry. He just wanted to get in the pitcher's head on the bump.
Yeah,
Called strike 2. Bonnell just trying to do some damage on the rubber. Checks on the runners. Throw comes home. Rip out to second. And the throw down to second will catch Phillips doubled up. Double play erases a base runner for Julian Simon. Throw into third will go all the way to the chain link fence, but Davin Kuntz will stay put. Good play over there, heads up in the middle infield for the Phoenix. Lineup card will flip over for Julian Simon as he gets ready to hopefully put a few more runs on the board. He's got a runner 90 feet away from making it 7 runs. And a pitching visit from the coach on the Atchison side. He will take the ball and send Barnes out to the hill. Each of the top 3 hitters in this Atchison lineup have gotten an opportunity on the mounds. They've also got some more options if all else fails. Currently warming up in the bullpen for them is Xavier Lutz. So if Barnes can't finish this inning on his own, Lutz is available. He has not come into the game yet.
and just judging by some of these warm-up pitches, we might see us get a little bit deeper into the lineup yet tonight.
Pumping absolute gas.
Yeah.
Hey, Julian, don't be late on the fastball.
Definitely heard.
Hey, that's gas right there. After the pitching change, Julian Simon, the first Pioneer to get a look at this new arm. And as Barnes finishes up his warm-up pitches and has a bit of a chat with his catcher, Simon getting his last few practice swings in. I think, Terry, the biggest thing when you have such a velocity change, you got to get your timing right.
Yeah, man. I think we ought to throw our softball players out there. They're pretty familiar with this type of velocity coming over the plate.
Julian Simon getting out there to the dish. He could use a bit of a change here. He's 0 for 3. First pitch high, and that one almost got him in the helmet.
Atchison's surviving on some hopes and dreams right now. Really hoping for their
This one gets hit out to left field, and it will hang up there for the third out of the inning. Snow cone grab out there on a routine play. Fly out to left, Simon 0 for 4 on the ball game, but the Pioneers lead it 6-0.
Attention, number 7. Zero.
Few lineup changes for the Pioneers as Pierce Gray is back in the field now after getting a little bit of rest for the first 5 innings. Giammalva at short, Shoemaker in right, Jack Dunlap will sit the rest of this ball game out. And on the mound now, Carter Pro as Frankie Giammalva out of the ball game as the pitcher. His 5 scoreless innings will keep his microscopic ERA right where it is at 0.64. He's just dominated this lineup, and Atchison's probably breathing a sigh of relief that they get to see a different arm angle. Fortunately, it might be a bit too late for them. And now they have to face an arguably more overpowering pitcher in Carter Pro when they're gassed at the plate. First pitch to Barnes missed. This one, Barnes does not miss, and he sends it to the opposite field, all the way out to the warning track. Rumbling around first, headed for second. He will get in there with a stand-up double. Atchison is in business to start the 6th. Noah Weaver will step up to the plate. And Simon having a bit of a chat with Carter Pro out there on the bump. First AB of the ball game for him. He's got 6 runs of cushion to work with. It's not the typical situation. He's used to coming into late games trying to slam the door on these save opportunities. That is not the assignment here. He's just got to keep the lead where it is, and hopefully the Pioneers can cruise to another easy win.
looks like we just put a 7th grader in out there to run from second.
Terry, I know you're not talking about height jokes with me in the box with you.
David, I think you might have that guy beat. That might be saying something.
Atchison just trying to put their first run across still in the 6th inning. It's especially funny when you see Giammalva going down there to cover. The bunt will go right back to Pro. He will throw it on to first and advancing to third on the sacrifice bunt. The Atchison Phoenix have William Green on third base. Hank Julo. He is 0 for 1. He did walk in his last plate appearance. Swung on. Hit to right. Making an over-the-shoulder grab is Anthony Giammalva. The throw to the plate is dropped by Julian Simon. And the Atchison Phoenix pushed their first run across the plate of the ball game to make it 6-1.
Yeah, and my goodness, what a throw there. That was right where it needed to be, just couldn't quite get handled there at the
Yeah.
plate. And
If Simon squeezes that ball cleanly, the throw had him beat, Terry.
yeah, my goodness, by quite a bit too. That was beautiful. Great opportunity to make the play there.
Even beyond the throw, just making that over-the-shoulder grab robbed in a sure hit. Excellent job by Anthony Giammalva, a web gem out there on the second base side. 6-1 as the Phoenix are finally on the scoreboard. It took them long enough, Terry.
Yeah, no kidding.
Carter Pro allows the leadoff base runner to come all the way across to score. However, Atchison is threatening as that one gets fouled off. Well, they would be threatening if he wasn't an 0-2 count. Pro, on the other hand, is one strike away from retiring Julo, who is retiring Weaver. Pitch outside. Almost had him for strike 3. Umpire a bit hesitant to ring him up there on the called pitch. That one in there. Swing and a miss. Foul tip into the mitt of Juju Simon. And now the Pioneers, with a 6-1 lead, will try to pad it a little bit more. Atchison has one chance left.
Watching everybody here having fun. It happens on a dance hall. Mercy, look what just walked through that door.
It has been all pinstripes through 5.5 innings. Anthony Giammalva, Frankie Giammalva, and Noah Davis will step up to the plate in what's hopefully the last time we see the Pioneers at the plate today. First pitch to Anthony Giammalva, fastball blown by him as he just watched it go by for strike 1.
I think Frank has thrown hotter changeups than that fastball.
The 0-1, or the 1-0 makes it 1-1 now. 6-1. Pioneers are in firm control of this one. Giammalva thought about it, checks his swing. They're going to say it was a called strike anyway. Anthony, 2 for 3. He has doubled twice. That one hopped about 5 feet in front of the plate. I'm pretty sure I could have potentially fit in between where that ball was and where the plate was. It landed almost on the grass.
Yeah, my goodness. There's
He's finally starting to get his timing ready.
one of these are just gonna get taken soon. I mean,
I think my money's on Frankie Giammalva in the on-deck circle. He's
he's been hot today,
yeah,
and
he's
I
already 3 for 3 with 2 extra base hits, as that one is fouled back our way. If if Frankie can see a pitch and just make good contact on it, then we might not be seeing that ball again. The pitch. Swung on and fouled away. We'll do it again.
yeah. Game has quickly devolved into slow pitch softball tonight.
Pioneers just haven't really seemed to be able to time it up.
Yeah.
6-1 in inning number 6. And Frankie Giammalva seriously poses a threat on deck to the janitorial staff over at Warren Middle School. They might need to be cleaning up some broken glass tomorrow. This one hit on a hard liner to short. Diving grab is not going to be made. On to first base is Anthony Giammalva, and now his brother Frankie Giammalva, who is 3 for 3 on the ball game, has a chance to make it 4 for 4 and smash through the brick wall potentially over there at the middle school. Frank Giammalva swinging a hot stick today. First pitch is high. Barnes, check down, throw, runner goes. Play at second, flip on to first, not in time. Both runners are safe, and now Leavenworth has 2 men on and nobody out after the collision over there at second just completely erased the double play attempts.
Yeah, and you got some speed out there too with a heavy hitter like Noah Davis at the plate. I mean, with the type of pitches coming over the plate, you're looking to put 2 runners home here.
E4 on the fielder's choice is, instead of a double play, 2 outs in the inning, nobody on, as that one goes outside, throw it out
Oh
to
my goodness!
in the left field. Anthony Giammalva comes home to score easily. I don't think I've had such a laugh at the press box in a long time, Terry.
Yeah, my goodness, you call that a throw down. I think that's more of a throw up. That was about 6 feet over his third baseman's head.
Just kind of regurgitated that ball out of his hands. Not able to make any competitive attempt at an out there. 7-1 Pioneers. Runner is at second. Nobody out. The pitch to Davis misses low. I don't know if he can catch up to the fastball, Terry.
Yeah, man, there's just too much heat coming over the plate. I don't know if they're going to be able to manage, you know, pitching like this is something that you really only see at the next level.
Frank Giammalva diving in there with another stolen base.
Beautiful throw down to third again, just like the last.
Runners at, runner at third. Anthony would be on base too if he hadn't come across the score on the wild pitch, or the wild throw from catcher. Pitch misses for ball 4, and now they are at the corners for the team hits leader, Gabe Fryman. Gabe Fryman getting set in the box now. Check down to first, check down to third, as this one gets hit to the opposite field. And they've got Frankie Giammalva in a pickle. Throw goes down to the catcher, no one covering at third. Pitcher comes over. Throw comes in, he dives out at the plate.
Oh my goodness.
Almost eluded the tag. And now, after in the wake of all that, runners advance to second and third. And after everything we've been through, Terry, finally, the Atchison Phoenix have recorded their first out of the inning.
And I have to say, it's a miracle they wrangled him there. I mean, it got really close to being bad fast.
So the walk to Davis, he is now at third after the fielder's choice. First pitch to Pro, and there for a called strike. Check down. 7-1, Leavenworth lead. Swung on and popped up in foul territory, running out of room over there, and it will fall beyond the chain link fence. Davin Kuntz sits on deck for the Pioneers. Aaron Phillips in the hole here. We've gotten to the point 73 degrees. It's starting to cool down a little bit. Wind is definitely a factor at this point.
Yeah.
This is where we're normally getting ready for first pitch, Terry. Ball down to short will score a run. Phoenix record their second out of the frame, 8-1 Pioneers, as Davis comes across home. Davin Kuntz at the plate. The pitch, low. Runner at second, and falling off the mound in his delivery there. Barnes shaking a little bit, literally. Almost tumbled off the mound there like a roly-poly. Having a bit of a chat with this catcher now, and
No, we're not.
he's reached the maximum amount of mound visits. We have had a lot of stoppages in this game, Terry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me that they're already at their, I believe, allotted 3.
I'm not sure it would have made a difference, but, you know,
I think the umpire, as well as us, is just ready to get this game concluded. That one's a called strike. 8-1 Pioneers put up 1 each in the first, second, and third before their 3-run outburst in the fourth really blew this game open. Fouled away. And now they've put 2 more across in the 6th inning just for a little bit of insurance.
I'm choking way up on the bat there again.
Kuntz is definitely someone who just tries to put the ball in play and make good things happen. He's not one to really get behind one, send it over the fence. But when he does get a hold of one, he makes good things happen.
And he might not be the fastest base runner on this team, but his speed is definitely one of his best abilities when he can get out there to try to make a
Well,
play.
another thing to remember, Terry, he's only a sophomore. And so just the fact that he's already getting consistent starting time and producing at the varsity level, as this one gets booted at first, able to recover, beating it out at first, and the Pioneers continue to move the chain along.
Yeah, and really showing that speed there again as that ball was mishandled, juggled twice there, out at the circus on first base.
Yeah, I hear that the Leavenworth Circus Act, the Carousel Museum, could use a new clown. Runners at the corners now for Phillips. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked and put down a sacrifice bunt in the second. And running second. Coots is in a pickle. He's just gonna get chased. He wants second base. He really wants. What is happening, Terry?
Uh,
Coming in to score is Gabe Fryman and applying the tag down there. It is a 9-1 ball game as Kuntz gets caught in no man's land. And yeah, the Pioneers have an 8-run lead to protect. Do you think Carter Pro's the right man for the job, Terry?
I don't think I don't think it matters who we put out there. I think we could put in the junior varsity starting pitcher and we would probably close this game out just fine. They
I would
can't
like
hit.
I would like to see a Jim Abbott situation. Maybe have not Julian, Oliver Rambo go out there with his surgically repaired left hand in a cast. I don't know. I bet he could retire the side.
Yeah, I think let's just put somebody out there for the fun of it, man. It doesn't matter at this point. We're
Carter
gonna come down and win this game, and they're not getting hits no matter who we have up there.
Carter Pro in a high stakes, not save situation, trying to defend a narrow 8-run lead. Terry, we're just trying to hype this game up as much as we can.
Yeah, we really got to see, just some perfect play. He's got to
Yeah.
get up there. He's got to have some moxie, got to have some swagger, got to put it down over the plate, and he's got to take us home. This game is tight. It's a nail biter, and he's going to be the guy to carry us home to this win.
I am certainly biting my nails now, just waiting to see what happens to our 9-1 lead. But we don't have to wait much longer as Thompson is stepping into the batter's box. Pioneers lead at 9-1 as we go into the top of the 7th. Hopefully, we don't have to see any of these guys again in the lineup. But Atchison, they could make that happen if they force a bottom of the inning.
As he watches the first pitch go right by for strike one.
Carter Pro pitching at about 80% energy, I'd say. Pumps another one in there and is just laughing at him on the mound. I think everyone's about ready to go home, Terry. And that one just misses outside. 9-1 game. Pro trying to put a lid on it. That one misses low. Pitch. Misses again. Umpire is maintaining order, not wanting to give any handouts here late in the ball game. High fly ball, 2 outs away, as that one will fall into the glove of Pierce Gray.
10, Parker Huntington.
Now it's Parker Huntington's turn.
When you got a guy at Huntington, like Huntington at the plate, who's been just super productive on offense today, Carter's just, he's got to keep it together.
Huntington is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. This one is a hard line drive up the middle. Fryman gets it on the 1-hop, and Atchison is in business here. 1-out single puts a man on for the Firebirds. The Atchison Phoenix trying to mount a comeback here. Here's the fun fact, Terry. In the first 2 weeks of the season, 30 MLB teams with 15 games played each, there have been 0 comebacks of 8 runs or more through the first 2 weeks of the MLB season. Now, I don't know about Kansas 5A, but I think Atchison could have a chance to do something historic here.
Yeah, they've been really just showing sparks of offense all night. You got to think, with everything that's happened, all of the errors, all of the slip ups, they really are just one small play away from being right back in this.
2 strikes on Clark. Top of the order is on deck. The pitch. Chopped back to the mound. Could be two. Throw from Giammalva, and this game is over. Good pick over there at first to retire the side. And the 7 innings, 5 covered by Frankie Giammalva, 2 from Carter Pro to finish the job. Giammalva gets the win as Leavenworth takes it 9-1. Terry, lots of encouraging signs of life from the Pioneer offense that was really kind of down in the dumps after that Piper series last week.
And this was a really good game to come back on. You know, Atchison coming in at 4-2 isn't a bad team by any stretch, but you know, we just came out there and played better baseball, came out on top by a large margin, and that's got to be a good feeling going into these upcoming games. It's a 3-game schedule this week, if I remember correctly.
Well, they have 3 more on the weekdays. They also have a Saturday game to make up the Shawnee Heights rainouts. For those of you watching, we thank you for coming in the box with us. 9-1, Leavenworth Pioneer victory. We will have more Pioneer baseball on Tuesday and Thursday when the Pioneers host and travel to Topeka West. Before on Friday, we play Olathe North, and then on Saturday, a road game against Shawnee Heights. Good night.